Right now on News 8, a higher standard for education. The new Illinois sexual assault law and how it changes the environment for victims.
Then inspiring a new generation, the honor flight through the eyes of a different kind of veteran and how her service is an honor to our nation.
Live from WQAD, News 8 at 5 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Denise Sinitka.
And I'm adjusting. I'm Jim Mertens. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5.
We begin tonight with some breaking news out of Rock Island. In just the past hour, we've learned City Manager Thomas submitted a letter of resignation to City Hall. In that letter, Thomas says that after 5 years of service to the city, it's time to pursue other opportunities. Mayor Dennis Pauly says the city will consider that resignation at a council meeting on Monday. Thomas's resignation comes on the heels of that Walmart deal that fell through earlier this month.
A new state law is holding Illinois colleges and universities to a new standard when it comes to sexual assault on campus. As News 8's Christina Hepner now tells us tonight, students at Western Illinois University say they're learning about their rights along with their education.
Illinois college students say they're learning to speak up about safety on campus.
So it's about being comfortable to talk to someone about it and let your voice be heard about it. So people don't hide about it and they bring awareness to what's going on.
He's talking about the problem of sexual assaults on campus. Administrators at Western Illinois University are talking about it too, making sure the school's policies align with the new state law that took effect this school year.
We offer online programming to all of our incoming students, our transfer and freshman students. Take it.
Western's Title IX coordinator, Andrea Henderson, says that training teaches students about the school's policy and how to report a sexual assault.
That's really important for students to know, one, that they have a right to consent, and two, that you must have consent in order to engage in any sexual activities.
Illinois colleges must now clearly outline their sexual assault response policies. At Western, administrators say they can help, whether an incident happened on or off campus.
We will talk with them, make sure that they're aware of the process for being able to file an administrative complaint in addition to any criminal complaint that they would like to file.
Victims must also have access to a confidential advisor that can inform them of their rights. That's also part of Henderson's role on campus.
And as awareness increases about an opportunity to address a situation, there have been more reports.
Students say the discussion's been started, but there could be even more action.
I think they have to do a better job advocating for self-defense, more self-defense classes, pepper spray, and even stun guns as well.
Making their home away from home feel safe. In Macomb, Christina Hepner, WQAD News 8.
Knox College in Galesburg, Augustana College in Rock Island both say they have similar policies that are available online for students whenever they need it.
Prosecutors have upgraded the charges against a man accused of covering up the death of an Illinois woman. 66-year-old Clifford Anderson is now charged with concealment of a homicidal death. The upgrade boosts the potential prison time from 1 year to as much as 5 years. Earlier this week, investigators found the body of Deborah Dewey at a home in Standard, Illinois. She'd been missing for several weeks. Police haven't said how she died. Anderson is being held tonight in the Bureau County Jail on $750,000 bond. Police say that a 24-year-old Davenport man was shot and killed Wednesday night. They identified the victim as Doug Nokomis. Police say they found him with a gunshot wound in the 1000 block of Blithwood Place Wednesday night. So far, no arrests have been made. Farmland values in Iowa are down nearly 9% over last year. During a discussion hosted by KCLN Radio, farmers blamed low crop prices for that land decline. Corn prices are less than half of what they were just a few years ago. That also hurts businesses like Deere & Company, contending with indefinite layoffs right now. Farmers say they're less likely to spend money going into the next year.
You're going to see a lot more repair shops busier, I think, because they're going to repair that equipment instead of trading it for new right now.
Cheaper land is good news for farmers who want to expand. They say the trend will continue until crop prices improve.
Iowa's most recognizable farmer spent some time pumping gas in Des Moines.
As a farmer and a consumer, having a choice at the pump is really important. And having E15, going from E10 to E15 is really important.
For Iowa E15 Day, former Bachelor Chris Soule spread the word about how the fuel benefits farmers. Denise talked to him. I thought he was hitting on you at one point.
Oh no, he was just very charming.
E15 is a 15% ethanol blend, which is more than most U.S. fuel. Soule has lobbied lawmakers to increase the use of ethanol as a way to increase corn prices.
Don't you try to get me in trouble.
I just remember that. His eyes were like, oh, Denise.
Well, you know, I'm very enchanting.
And he chose wrong, didn't he? He chose wrong, if I remember right.
He did, actually. Depending on what time you were outside today, you could have gotten either drenched in sun or drenched by rain.
Either or. Chief Meteorologist James O'Hara has our first look at the forecast. James?
Hey guys, and in fact, we're kind of experiencing that right now. Some people are seeing now some sun. Some people are getting a little drenched right now, so let's show you the storm tracker and account. We'll explain it all right there. You can see some of the rains that are going on. Upper right-hand corner, some lightning strikes, not too much. Had a little clap of thunder around the Kirkwood area, but all in all, these are more showers than anything else. And this kind of direction that we're looking at, going to make its way through Knox County, a good portion of Henry, Stark, and very likely make it its way toward Bureau County. Otherwise, to the north and west right now, looking pretty quiet out there. Of course, we've been seeing some rather fairly warm and humid conditions. Got as high as 84 degrees in the Quad Cities, currently 77. And there is another wave of some showers just off to our south and west in Missouri. I'll show you who may be impacted by those showers and its impact on those high school football games going on this evening in just a little bit. Jim?
All right, thank you, James. An Iowa girls high school basketball team is facing criticism for an unreleased team poster. This is what the Clark High School team came up with for the upcoming season. Native Americans say costumes are culturally insensitive, as you see here. Clark Community School Superintendent says the poster is meant to be a prideful demonstration of the school embracing its history.
Really, out of total respect for not just the community, but the entire state in general with the Native American background. So no negativity intent at all, just respecting the rich culture.
The school district is in the process of reviewing it to determine if any changes are needed. Illinois lawmakers want to make it more difficult for school districts to kick out older, underperforming high school students. Under current Illinois law, districts can temporarily deny enrollment for some students. Those must be 17 and older, failed to earn at least a D average the previous semester, or had too many unexcused absences. The State Board of Education now says the current law increases the chance at-risk students will become dropouts. Officials say school districts should be encouraged to help students graduate.
Iowa's U.S. senators want to learn more about the health care that veterans are getting in the state. Today, U.S. Senators Chuck Grassley and Joni Ernst took a tour of the VA Medical Center in Iowa City. They're asking more questions after a Davenport Marine took his own life after his family says he was turned away from the facility. The Office of Inspector General is looking into it. Both senators say they're waiting to see what comes of that investigation before talking about what needs to be done differently. Homeless veterans in the Quad Cities are getting access to a host of local resources this weekend. The Stand Down event is going on in Rock Island. The veterans are invited to come take a shower, get a fresh set of clothes, and have something to eat. But there's also long-term help through medical, housing, and counseling services. It's run entirely by volunteers who say it's not a handout, it's a hand up.
This is not a handout. They more than deserve all this, and they've done so much for us. It's just our way of saying thank you to them.
Each veteran also leaves with a backpack filled with hats, gloves, socks, and everyday supplies.
But not every veteran is a man. Tens of thousands of women have served in the military, many as nurses who saved countless lives on the battlefield. Hundreds of people turned out last night to welcome the first honor flight for Vietnam veterans returning to the Quad City Airport from their trip to Washington, D.C. But many people may not have known that there was a woman among the 94 veterans making that flight. News 8 is proud to have traveled with those veterans yesterday, and tonight I'm proud to introduce to you a woman whose service in Vietnam is also an honor to our nation. It's been a long journey for a retired military nurse living in Henry County.
Whether you agreed with the war or not, I felt like if the men had to be there fighting it, then somebody needed to be there to take care of them.
And 50 years ago, Donna Johnson was doing just that. She served in Vietnam as an Army nurse from 1967 to 1968. You always hear about how Vietnam changed the men. Did it change the women as well?
It did. It makes you realize that Every life is precious. I am very excited.
On this day, Donna's journey takes her to Arlington National Cemetery's Women in Military Service Memorial. It's a memorial that's long overdue.
Made it.
Dedicated in 1997, just 19 years ago, the memorial is visited by 200,000 people each year.
Feel okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Arlington National Cemetery is hallowed ground to the American servicemen, but the American servicewoman as well. So many women are discounted for their role in the military. There were 11,000 American women in Vietnam alone.
Hey.
And Air Force Brigadier General Wilma Vaught is one of those 11,000.
You grew up more than I did.
A military trailblazer, it was Vaught who led the effort to create this memorial to women in the military. And on this day, she made it a point to meet Donna Johnson of Woodhull, Illinois.
You were the ones who did the most.
Is it already over there?
And now those stories are being told. For Donna, this journey ends in a darkened room where you can type your name into an existing registry listing the thousands of profiles of military women.
Oh man, look at you. That's awesome.
And Donna's picture is one she's rightfully proud to show. It's a picture of her with a young child clutching onto her side.
On our days off, we would go into the villages on what they called medcap and take care of the Vietnamese people, especially the children.
It's a side of the war that should not be forgotten by history, nor should we forget a woman like Donna Johnson, who will never forget her service to others.
Every soldier is somebody's son, somebody's husband, somebody's brother.
And military women continue to win the rights many of you might be surprised they've gone without. In May of this year, President Barack Obama signed a bipartisan bill allowing women pilots from World War II to be buried at Arlington National Cemetery 71 years after the war started. And we are posting the veteran stories on our website. Go to WQAD.com, type Honor Flight in the search bar at the top of the homepage. Still ahead, road trip record.
How America's drivers made July one for the record books, coming up.
And after a few more showers that we'll have to dodge in some of our hometowns, things are looking a whole lot drier in the days ahead. And I'll tell you for how long, right after the break here on News 8 at 5.
You are watching WQAD News 8 at 5 with Jim Mertens and Denise Hanitka.